Welcome back, everybody. You are now listening to the Morning Grits podcast, where we talk about sports in a raw and authentic way. Sports for the fan, from a fan. It's your boy Joseph, a.k.a. JWitTheGrits, and I'm back once again with my man Leon. What's up, Leon?
What's good, bro? Let's get it.
Hey, everything is good. Season 2 is here.
Yes, sir.
We are in full effect, Leon.
Man, I'm excited about the show, man.
This
is a good one.
There's a lot going on in sports.
Yes, sir.
You know, what's going on in sports right now, Leon?
Oh, shoot.
Albert Pujols.
Hey.
Touching baseball, my man hit a grand slam right against the Astros a few days back.
Yep.
Right now, that gives him about 15 grand slams for his whole career. And the cool thing about that is, like, he's creeping up on number 5.
That's impressive.
Number 5 all time.
Wow.
Which Willie Mays is there, right? So then you have Alec Rodriguez. Then you'll have Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds.
Woo.
Right? So I don't know if he'll ever get to 700 completely, but I mean, he has a couple more years on that contract. He might get close.
Yeah, he might get a new one.
So
Birth of a new contract. You never know.
I don't know. He's kind of old, though.
Yeah, that's all right. You can play till you're 60 in baseball,
That
right?
is true.
They be signing guys for 30 years, bro. House notes.
Be running to a base with a walker. Trying to get there. What else is happening in sports, Leon?
Man.
Why they got Mike Tyson fighting Roy Jones Jr. on September 12th? What is up with that?
Okay, check this out. All right, so to me, now, granted, you took some of the best fighters, 2 of the best fighters to ever grace the ring, right?
True.
In their respective times. I would have rather seen them fight in their prime. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Mike Tyson still look like a monster.
Yeah. My man's lifting trackers right now.
Yeah,
bro.
he's on a whole nother. My issue with this is that I think it's a setup for Roy Jones.
Okay.
Because Roy don't take hits too well.
His chin's pretty weak.
His chin is weak. And so I'm like, I don't know if he harnessed enough power to hit Mike Tyson and like hurt him.
Right.
Even though he was back in the day, you know, he was the one pound for pound.
Right.
But I think it's a publicity stunt. I think they need money.
Right.
I think they gotta wear headgear.
Really?
Yeah, I heard they gotta wear headgear because United States or California.
I don't even want to watch it anymore, bro. This is not amateur fighting.
Mike Tyson did come out and say because of the laws that are here, they have to wear headgear. So that's another strike.
How come they couldn't put the fight in Vegas? How come they couldn't put the fight in Florida, somewhere else? Why they got to be in California?
And then it's only 8 rounds. So
it's an amateur fight?
It's like an amateur fight.
With 2 pros?
With 2 pros.
Mike's like 50 years old, though.
But you know who else is on that undercard? I
Who?
think Nate Robinson.
Nate, Nate Robinson, the basketball player.
He's on the undercard. So
okay.
That's more exciting to me.
Right.
Than to see them. But much respect to them, and I ain't trying to dog them or nothing like that. I think they're just trying to get money, bro.
Yeah.
I just think they're trying to get money.
Well, let them get their money because I think like half the United States is going to be watching that fight. How you think Mike's? How you think the fight will end? You think Mike's gonna win?
Man, I think Mike want blood.
Yeah.
He want that head thing to come off.
Man.
Headgear to come off.
Man.
Mike is like training like he about to fight Buster Douglas again.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, do he know this is just exhibition? Because he's like real serious right now. Roy Jones all unhealthy looking, I'm like, boy, you better, boy.
They're both dogs, but when you get into the ring, man, it's like you said, like you become an animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you want to fight for blood,
I think Tyson gonna get him, bro.
Yeah.
I just think because Roy ain't able to take hits and Mike Tyson's still throwing, man.
And Mike's fast. Mike's never not had speed. He's always had speed, which made him unique.
Yeah. So we gonna see.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Well, what's that? What else is happening in sports right now, Leon? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes just signed that major contract with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Man.
And now Patrick Mahomes just became part owner for the Kansas City Royals baseball team. That's major right there.
That's huge.
He had a great year. We talked about the year of the black quarterback in the season 1. And now we come to this point in time where Patrick Mahomes, after becoming the MVP of the league, after becoming Super Bowl MVP, now he's part of an ownership group at only 23 years old.
Congrats to Patrick Mahomes.
It's beautiful.
Congrats. Great job making him. But
what?
Man, bro, like the NFL is trying to capitalize off of anything Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Fortunate is Patrick Mahomes who the face, so it makes it look like, oh, it's Patrick Mahomes who owns whatever. But I don't know. I just don't trust the NFL.
But do you think it's the NFL, or do you think really Patrick Mahomes kind of put himself in position to be profitable?
Possibly. Mm-hmm. But then, to be a face of a whole league makes you profitable too.
That is true.
Like,
yeah.
But shouts out to Patrick Mahomes. I ain't taking that from him. I think the guy is going to be he is the best quarterback in the league, period.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's better than he is. And to see, but like I said, we've been dominating this sport forever. Football, to me, is like, I just don't know, bro. Like, I just think it's not genuine. Like, because they still haven't addressed cap situation.
Right.
But yet now you got your players kneeling.
Right.
I really don't care about watching football, even though I love football. I don't care about it because there's just so much, to me, it's still a lot of racism in football.
Right.
And so it just seemed like that they're just trying to, put a Band-Aid on it until it pass over. Mm-hmm. But, until they make things right, especially with cap. And I think it should be a public apology. Right. From the commissioner. But until that, man, I just have my feelings about football.
And that's crazy you said that, because OBJ, he came out, was pretty much saying that the NFL, their owners, pretty much treat black people like we're still on the block to be sold.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he comes out and he says that the NFL is that we're not ready for this football season at all. He says, so why are we trying to push forward? It's obviously for their money. And that bothers me because that's always been this way. Mm-hmm. And I hate saying it like that, but the owner's attitude is, oh, we own you guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that really feel like that because, one, the NFL didn't really put in position or put in measures to protect the players, but they wanted the players to go to training camp so they could have a season.
Right.
And that just kind of resonates with what you were saying right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, football take another L on this one. Because you got these players out here risking their lives and their families now. You didn't take cue from the NBA and from the National Hockey League, who tested 0%.
Right.
They made provision. They stopped the season and then they made provision for their players. Why wouldn't you follow the model? And shouts out to the NBA because NBA kind of spearheaded that whole little situation. Everybody was talking about, no bubble and this and that. I'm like, let these players come back and go to work. That's what they're supposed to do. Now look at it. It's thriving now. And yesterday they tested 0% again. Right. So obviously it's working. And so why wouldn't you, once again, football, NFL, model or do something for your players, at least protect them.
Protect them, right.
Because guess what? 90% of your players are what? Black.
Right.
And so now you have some of your stars coming out and saying, hey, this is a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable doing this. And this could lead to a strike. It can lead to the season being closed because they're going to practice, they're going home. Going to practice, going home. Exposure. You see what's his name did when he got a little freedom? From the Clippers, Lou Williams.
Oh, yeah, he went straight to the strip club.
And it's not that he went where he went because he went to get the wings,
right?
Right. He
some
went
legs,
to get wings,
some legs and some thighs.
Some breath. But you see in their mind, they still go out and they're around a lot of people.
Right.
To me, it wasn't smart because you putting your team at risk. And so a lot of times these players are around different people and some of them are immature. Right. So some of them are going to go and be like, I'm going to go do my thing. And now you're exposing your team. Now teams playing teams. Now it can catch. And so I can see this ending bad for the NFL. I really can until they put some provision for the players. So I definitely agree with him.
There's a lot of players that are choosing. So the NFL gives an option, right? Right. The NFL says either you could play by the rules that are being set right now, right, by the way that everything is being I guess, conditioned, or the way that everything is being presented
Right.
with COVID-19,
Right.
or you have an option to opt out of your contract completely.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, opt out as in not have to play this season?
not have to play this season, but not get paid either.
Ooh, no. It's not their fault.
You know what I mean?
But NBA, see, this is why NFL is a little slower, right? NBA, because of insurance, already had a policy in place. Okay, we're going to take off. You're going to get paid 70. In case something like this happened, you can make 75% of your salary.
Right.
And you give 25% back.
Right.
So to say a player is responsible for what's happening and then put them in an unemployment line
Right.
to where they got to get the $600 boost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
If I had to go to work and then there was nothing there to protect me,
Right.
if they didn't offer me masks, if they didn't give me social distancing between one person and the next,
Right.
I'm not going to go to work because
Right.
I don't feel safe.
Absolutely.
I don't feel comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I do like about the NBA. The NBA season is here.
Yeah.
It has restarted back up
Yeah.
again. I know you're pumped up about
I'm
it.
excited, bro.
What you like about the restart so far?
Man, just to see something other than Netflix.
Right?
There's
There's some good shows on Netflix.
There's some good shows on Netflix, but man, I needed to see some competition. I
Yeah.
needed to see something different, man, because it's been a lot of stuff going on, bro. And I was one of the ones that was really pushing for the NBA to come back because people need a break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people love, and the ratings are great. People are enjoying the games, and I love it. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that it's just back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just happy to see my favorite players and them competing one to another. You know what I'm saying? They enjoying themselves. It looks
Right.
like they're having fun.
They're having fun,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? A lot of these guys were stuck in their matches, like doing stupid stuff
Yeah.
on YouTube and Twitter. Like now they having fun.
Right.
It looks like they're having fun. And you got your major stars backing it.
Right.
You know, Kyrie tried, but man, he can get the door.
I mean, you know,
You know what I'm
Kyrie's
saying?
Kyrie.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? You know, I that's another story, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's safe. The NBA did their due diligence.
Right.
And so shouts out to the NBA.
That's one thing I was worried about too.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you get all these people back together, especially in close proximity. Like, how are they actually like going to play ball and not get sick?
Yeah.
You know, but the bubble is really, really quarantined
Seriously.
to the nth degree.
Yeah.
These players are testing negative
Every player.
single time. They even have things that are set up in place for if it's an inconclusive test as well too, on how they're going to maintain that. You know,
Right.
so even if you leave the bubble, you still got to get quarantined for a
Yeah.
certain amount of
10
days
days.
before you can even get back together with your team.
Yeah.
And so that thing is what the NBA has in place, what the NFL hasn't done. NHL, as you mentioned, they've already adopted that same model
Yeah,
where they
same
have a
model.
bubble. They play in 3 different locations. They have the teams that are there, which is a great way
Yeah, great.
to have sports being played. You know what I mean? So now you don't really have to worry because you have tests on a daily basis. You know, your players are being safe.
Right.
Even when they're sitting on the sidelines, they have their mask on.
Right.
Some of these coaches are wearing masks. So
Right.
they always have put in the measures to take.
Yeah.
They are having fun.
Yeah.
Are the fans having fun? Are the fans really enjoying it? Because we always say, what's sports without the fan? How do you think the players feel right now playing? Has it affected the players at all, knowing that the fans are not there in person?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. I mean, you can't replace the fans, true fans in the stands, the noise, you know, people talking back and forth to you, the energy is a big part of the game. So I know it's different, you know, because right now they got those little seats up there.
The virtual fans, right?
fans,
Yeah.
Which is nowhere near, not even touching the
Now,
surface.
if you want a chance to get on the Jumbotron,
I'm good.
I think now is the best time to get on the Jumbotron. How
Lil
many
Wayne was first seat one
Right,
of them nights. I was
right.
like,
How
okay,
many
okay.
games you done been to, and it's been so hard for them
Yeah,
to scan you, and
yeah.
you waving your hands up in the air, and
now
you're like, yo,
you
put
in
me on
there.
it.
So
Now you there.
If y'all want to be on TV, join. Get on one of those virtual seats.
Right.
But, you know, it's different. And a lot of players that came out and said it's different because it's like, but at the same time, it's necessary.
Yeah.
And I can even see the NBA putting this in place for even next year.
Okay.
Because until a vaccine is out and ready for people, I just don't see this going away because it's still surging in certain areas. And I think that, you know, going into next year, if it's not handled and covered, I think that we could see a lot of the sports doing something like this, even football adapting. I think football eventually was going to get it. If not, I guarantee you football will be shutting down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like it. I mean,
the players are having fun. Just
fun.
as you mentioned.
Yeah.
One of the MG fans came to me and he asked me this question. He said, how do you think the players are going to respond now when there's no fans, right? He said, are they going to go at each other, player to player, a little bit harder to kind of prove to each other, like, I got game?
Oh, man, come on, bro. Let's not get it twisted.
Because you know who's the ballers.
Because, bro.
And you know who's been putting in their time during this whole quarantine as well.
I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee anyone this. There's the competition amongst the best basketball players in the world. They can care less about what people think. But their peers' respect is something different.
Okay.
So they're playing to like let you know that, hey, I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'm still the best amongst themselves. So the competition is really amongst themselves. Like, Kawhi comes with a certain respect, like, oh, he's going to get buckets. LeBron has a certain respect so you got these guys that already have swag. James Harden just running around you can't guard me.
Right.
Can't guard me.
Oh, my gosh.
Like,
he's been lights out right now,
He's
bro.
been playing crazy. And so you better believe, James Harden averaging darn near what? 35 points, 34 points a game. Might as well say rounded to 35.
Yeah.
Bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, it's my league.
Right.
LeBron is like, not yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can feel the competition amongst teams, and I saw Chris Paul really excited for beating my boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you could tell it's brewing.
Yeah.
And so
the competition level's kind of increased,
it's
right?
increased.
Yeah.
And you would think that it wouldn't, but they have to play for themselves and they letting each other know, oh, I'm still that guy.
I think that's the difference. They're playing for themselves now.
Yeah.
They're playing for each other. They're
Yeah.
playing for a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no fans to be
Yeah.
there. Like, you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
playing for each other. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I like. And it's crazy because the Thunder have been playing for each other.
Okay.
The Thunder have been balling out of control.
Right.
Right? Houston's been balling out of control.
Right.
Milwaukee looks dominant.
Right.
Toronto looks great. There's a lot of sleeper teams that are here right now that have really been putting an imprint. The Phoenix Suns have won 4 games in a row.
Right.
Denver looks like they're going to be a problem. Where's Philly out in this? They won a couple of games straight.
Man.
Ben Simmons is hurt now.
Yeah, that you can count them goodbye, bro.
Who's that sleeper team for you? Who is going to make that run? You got Portland trying to come up. They're like a half game out of the 8th spot right now, which is going to be a major threat for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Who's that team for you that could just like knock off anybody? Who do you think?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
On East and West or just the West?
Just East and West total together.
I'm going to have to say Toronto.
Toronto's that team?
The Raptors.
They're the NBA champions.
Because, like, when I saw them play the Lakers, I was like, wow. They're deep everywhere.
Right.
Like, they don't have a bona fide star, but the problem is that their starting 5, everybody is good. They can get their own shots. They're great defensively, and they're very efficient. And so when I was watching them play the Lakers, I'm like, oh, because they're scary.
Right.
Because they're long, and LeBron has issues with long wings.
Right, you said that before.
They're long, and they're great defensively. They really didn't need Kawhi to be that good. But they are sleeping. I think people are really, really sleeping on how good Toronto is. I think Toronto can still come out of the East. For the West, I got to give it to the Rockets because, man.
Yeah. That's my team.
They're playing out of their mind right now.
But you got 2 MVPs on the same team. You got Harden and you got Westbrook. But then you got their defense and the way that they rotate their defense. And we had talked about this before. We had talked about the Rockets' defense, and you said that it wouldn't matter because they can't really control and slow down the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially in a playoff series.
I'm still interested in that, though.
But the way that they're scrambling on defense, their defensive rotation, and for a Mike D'Antoni team to have the type of defensive rotation, whether they're playing a matchup zone or even man-to-man, they are working as a unit, man, and they are on a string.
They are.
You know what I mean? And then their ball movement is off the chain. James Harden doesn't have the ball in his hands that long this time around.
My only issue is that they're still the most ISO team in the league.
Okay.
So their play still hasn't changed. They just, what they did is what I love what they did is that they didn't try to change it. See, with D'Antoni, he tried to form you to his system, which is run and gun, shoot under, 16 seconds, something like that. Make sure you get a lot of shots up, volume.
Right.
This year, he allowed Russell Westbrook.
What up,
Got
Brody?
that?
What's
up,
Brody?
He allowed Brody to find his game and play his game, which was mid-range and getting to the rack.
Right.
Which made them a super threat because now you have Russell playing comfortable and you're going to have James, he's doing what he want to do. So you have two players, two superstars, bona fide superstars that are able to get what they want when they want. Now, the only issue is that when you're keyed in on in the playoffs, how are you going to adjust? It's still a lot of ISO. So,
Right. So it's going to be crazy about the matchups then because I just turned over here so I can look at the actual standings. And so you're looking at the Rockets right now are in 4th place, right? And so the Rockets are 2.5 games, or actually, 2.5 games, 1.5 games behind the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
Right. So then you got the Lakers, Clippers, Denver, Houston, Utah, OKC, Dallas, and then you got Memphis right now with Portland trying to creep in, right? So I know we had talked about before about what kind of matchup could be deadly.
Right.
What do you think about that 3-4, maybe Denver? If the Rockets could catch there, would that be a problem for the Lakers? Who's that threat for the Lakers? Because right now, the Lakers aren't really playing so well.
No.
Does it matter that they're not playing so well? LeBron only played the first half a few games ago. The last game against the Rockets, he didn't play at all.
Right.
But the Lakers got crushed by the Thunder. The Lakers got beat by the Raptors. You know what I mean? And I forget what other team beat the Lakers really bad. But I mean, the Lakers when they're losing,
they're 2-2.
when they're losing though, they're losing. You know?
I mean, I'm not too worried about the Lakers because Lakers are pretty much. They're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? When you got LeBron on your team, you're going to be fine. I just think it's important for Coach to finalize his rotation because to me, I think he's playing too many players.
Okay.
And it's only 4 games left. And so it seemed like he's still trying to find pieces that work. And I'm like, okay, you're going to have to really narrow your rotation at this point. And play the players that that's going to get you where you got to go.
You got J.R. Smith is new to the team.
He could sit.
Marquise Morris is new to the team. And you got Dion Waiters.
But he haven't been playing. I love the brother, the twin, what's his name?
Marquise Morris.
Marquise Morris.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
But you're not playing him. He gets in every once in a while and you see how good he can be. But what are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? And so my thing with the Lakers is they'll be fine because you got AD and LeBron.
Right.
Now we need, I wish my guy Rondo was there because, we need someone with more experience handling the ball when LeBron leaves. It's kind of like a scatter and jump shot.
Right.
JR love to jack up shots. Kuzma I think is seeing great minutes because of his production.
Right.
Dion Waiters has been very effective. I'm looking for the GOAT, Caruso, to find his niche, which he's still on the defensive end is still a threat to any guard. He's playing wonderful defense.
Right.
He doesn't necessarily have to score.
Right.
But I don't know.
But to hit the open shot is something that we want.
Yeah.
What the Lakers need, and one thing I do like when the Lakers put Dion Waiters at the point, even when LeBron's in the game, the Lakers still have Dion Waiters at the point.
Yeah.
Dion Waiters, besides LeBron, is the only player, and Kuzma will do it too. Kuzma will attack from the wing. But really, as a guard that penetrates, because Rondo's not there anymore, we don't have a point guard that's going to penetrate.
Right.
And so I like when Dion Waiters is at the point because he will try to body.
Yeah.
He's bigger,
Right.
But he has that quickness, and he could create off the dribble
Right.
and create for himself or for another player.
Right.
You know, so I really do like when Dion Waiters is at the point.
Yeah, I like him there. And like I said, I just really miss Rondo.
Yeah.
Because
A playoff Rondo, you had called it too. You couldn't wait for playoff Rondo.
I was ready, man. This dude done went and broke his hand. I'm like, oh, stay off the ground. What? Why you keep putting your hands on the ground? Anyway, another story.
Yeah.
But I do like him there. But like I said, at this point, I think we need to narrow our rotation. You know, and I'm not worried about the Lakers. We're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lakers are still a threat to any team, and everybody knows it. You know, Clippers are a threat to any team. And like I said, you know, you're in the West, scary West. So it's not the East. You know, so you got 6-7 teams that can, on any given night, beat you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Here at Morning Grits, it's always a show within a show. This is the With the Grits segment. Leon, who's with the Grits? Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics. He's definitely with the Grits, Leon. In the last 3 games, he's averaging 25 points, 4 rebounds, 3.6 assists. He and Jaylen Brown, man, they both been holding it down for the Celtics.
Yes,
the
sir.
defense has been off the chain. The offense has been off the chain. Jason Tatum is definitely with the Grits this week. Who else is with the Grits, Leon? My man Chris Paul
CP3.
from OKC Thunder. Look, he's averaging 20 points, 6.5 assists, and almost 2 steals a game ever since he's been in the bubble. He's holding it down for OKC. He's that savvy veteran leader. He'll take you off the dribble. He'll dish it to you, put you in position to score, make you successful. Chris Paul is that guy. He always will be one of the greatest point guards of all time.
Respect.
Is this his time to get that chip?
Absolutely. No. No.
Who's with the Grits, Leon? Anthony Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers is with the Grits. He had 42 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block. Also 3 steals against the Jazz. That allowed the Lakers to lock that #1 seed for the West. He became the first player since Kobe Bryant to have 20-point halves in one season. Inside the bubble right now, he's averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 block.
Not bad.
Devin Booker, your boy, D-Book from the Phoenix Suns. He's with the Grits. Leon, he's averaging 28 points, 6.5 assists, 47% shooting from the field, 35% from 3. You see that turnaround fadeaway jumper that he had
Ooh, yeah.
over Paul George,
Slash.
over Kawhi Leonard,
Yeah.
fall to the ground, watch the ball go in, nothing but net,
Crowd erupts.
game over.
Yes.
Devin Booker is that guy.
Yes, sir.
This is the segment that all the fans love. This is the segment that really shows the player that is just doing his thing out there on the court. This is the doing your thing segment. You know who's doing their thing, Leon?
Who that?
TJ Warren from the Indiana Pacers.
Facts.
Leon, he had a career high, 53 points
Yeah.
against the Sixers.
Yeah.
He had 2 blocks. He had 9 3-pointers in that game. That was also a career high for that guy.
Man, shoot.
What'd you think about that?
It's crazy stats, bro. Like MJ-esque.
Leon, he's averaging 39.7 points inside the bubble.
Ah.
He's averaging 5.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 2.3 blocks per game, 2 steals a game. He's shooting 65.2% from the field and almost 61% from the 3-point land. Tell me he wasn't working on his game when he was in quarantine.
He the B MVP.
He is definitely doing his thing.
He's the bubble MVP.
That's what I'm talking about. You know who else is doing their thing?
Who that?
James Harden. James Harden from the Houston Rockets. He became the all-time leading scorer as a lefty.
Shout out to my lefty. That's me too. Good job, James.
He passed David Robinson for all-time with 20,796 points versus the Bucks. In the bubble, he is averaging 33.8 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists.
That's impressive.
It's impressive because James Harden is passing the ball.
7 assists.
Hey, no shade, James, but you definitely doing your thing out there,
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, James Killer.
You know who else is doing their thing?
Who that?
Michael Porter Jr. Hey, this guy is definitely on the come up. He was out with a back injury for 2 years. He's coming back now. He's playing hard. He had a breakout game with 37 points, 12 rebounds, 1 block, and 1 steal. Then he follows that game up with 30 points. Leon, in the bubble right now, Michael Porter Jr. is averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block. He's shooting 56% from the field, and he's also shooting 51% from the 3.
Woo.
Somebody put a hand in my face.
Don't matter.
Hand down.
Man down.
Every time. Your boy Damian Lillard.
Dollar.
He's definitely doing this thing out there. He tried a franchise record for 11 three-pointers in a game. That's also a career high for him. To have 11 three-pointers in a game, he's lights out. My man crosses half court, pulls up with no hesitation.
Unconscious.
He had 45 points, 12 assists versus Denver. In the bubble, Leon, he is averaging 31 points, 11 assists.
I think the bubble's been the best thing for some of these players, bro. I think they're like bubble players.
Man.
Bubble players. Bubble players, bro.
But look at Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard was hurt.
Bruh.
He was hurt, and now he's able to come back and play.
Man, they putting up. These numbers are like 2K numbers, like when you like cheating.
Yeah.
Like some of these players are cheat codes. Like this is ridiculous.
Major. This is the segment, all fans love. This is the segment that all fans like to do.
Yeah.
I know I do. This is the Smack Talk segment. Smack Talk.
Let's get it.
You want to know who I'm talking smack to? You want to know who I'm talking smack to?
Ooh.
You, Major League Baseball. I'm talking smack to you. You know why I'm talking smack to you, Major League Baseball? Because you can't keep your players safe. Woo. Major League Baseball, look, check it out. Do what the NHL is doing. Do what the NBA is doing. Put your players in the bubble. Protect your players. You got half the team of the Marlins that are over there got the COVID. Now you got the St. Louis Cardinals who got COVID. Who else has got COVID that y'all ain't even telling us about? Why you can't keep your players safe? What's up with that, Leon?
Oh,
From the way that they handled the Houston Rockets last year, from when they hadn't even suspended the Houston Rockets, you think this time maybe they go and say, you know what, we're gonna make everything good for our players. They fighting over how much money to give the players when the players return to the baseball sport. So you focus more on that instead of actually keeping your players protected.
Houston Astros.
The Houston Astros, they just out of control with that. They just out of control with the Houston Rockets.
They out of control.
They should've-
They out of control. MLB is out of control. NFL, everybody is out of control.
Morning Grits, we here, we out of control.
We here. Tune in. You missing all this good stuff.
Season 2.